In Miami today, 2 detectives were arrested on charges of shooting up the home of a drug dealer cooperating with federal authorities. Today's arrest came as 7 other Miami officers went on trial accused of ripping off other cocaine dealers and for dealing drugs themselves. Miami is one of the principal branch offices for what can be called Cocaine Inc., a huge international business run by a relatively small band of smugglers operating out of Colombia. As NBC's Brian Ross reports tonight, this cocaine cartel, in many ways, is as sophisticated as a Fortune 500 company.
The arrest began shortly before sunrise. By midday today, 23 people were taken into custody. Hundreds of law enforcement officers had set up a blockade around Everglades City. The Drug Enforcement Administration says this community of 700 people is the hub of an international marijuana smuggling ring, that boatmen here unloaded drugs from mother vessels and helped distribute them throughout the country. Over the past 2 years, drug agents have made more than 100 arrests and over $140 million in drug seizures in this area.
Police also confiscated airplanes and fishing boats they say were used in a wide-open smuggling trade that involved residents of all ages.
Fugitives hide out and operate. They are Carlos Lader, 37, described by federal authorities as a psychopathic killer who has aligned the cartel with Colombia's M19 terrorists. Pablo Escobar, 36, under indictment in Miami for his role in setting up cocaine bases in Nicaragua, described as Colombia's wealthiest man. Jorge Ochoa, 37, caught in Spain earlier this year, but freed, and now in hiding in Colombia after allegedly bribing a Colombian magistrate to fix his case. Federal authorities say these 3 men now run an organization more violent and at least as powerful as the American mafia.
The Sandinistas have even involved themselves in the international drug trade. I know every American parent concerned about the drug problem will be outraged to learn that top Nicaraguan government officials are deeply involved in drug trafficking. This picture, secretly taken at a military airfield outside Managua, shows Federico Vaughn, a top aide to one of the 9 commandantes who rule Nicaragua, loading an aircraft with illegal narcotics bound for the United States. No, there seems to be no crime to which the Sandinistas will not stoop. This is an outlaw regime.
President Reagan, in seeking financial aid for Nicaraguan Contras, used the pictures snapped by Barry Seal as a basis of linking the Sandinista government to international drug trafficking. With Federico Vaughn at the Nicaraguan airstrip was a top Colombian drug lord. The man in the striped shirt is Pablo Escobar Gaviria, who with the Ochoa family is believed to be a leader of the world's cocaine cartel. As cameras snapped pictures, the 1,500 pounds of cocaine was loaded onto the plane, and Seal headed north, supposedly destined for a secret landing strip in Louisiana.
Gold weighs more than that. A lot of success for everybody. Gentlemen, and for all your phone calls. Thank you. Very well. FBI. You're
John DeLorean, the automaker arrested in the multi-million-dollar drug case, will apparently spend the weekend in jail. He's been unable to raise the $500,000 cash deposit required to meet the $5 million bail that's been set, and a hearing on a reduction of the bail will not be held until Monday. While he's waiting it out behind bars, a group of DeLorean sports car owners have been getting a lot of attention in California because they're on the road again.
Like anything else, there's a certain number of people with amounts of jealousy who would like to see us fall on our face, and we're not going to do that.
When the DeLorean car first rolled out of the factory in Ireland last year, much of America was rooting for its success. Its creator, former General Motors executive John DeLorean, had thumbed his nose at the big automakers, saying he'd show the industry how to build cars. In the last 2 days, DeLorean sales have boomed and prices have jumped, spurred by hopes that the car will be a collector's item. As for DeLorean, some say he failed because he became like the Detroit executives he despised, driven and finally desperate for success. Linda Douglas, CBS News, Beverly Hills.
You pleading guilty?
Yeah, I'm pleading guilty.
You going to serve any time?
I don't think so.
He used to smuggle drugs, then he got caught and he became one of the government's most valuable informants in the war against cocaine. But last night in Louisiana, Barry Seal's enemies caught up with him and killed him. Tonight, 3 men are in custody. NBC's Brian Ross reports that Seal was about to testify for the government once again.
Authorities believe last night's machine gun killing of top drug informant Barry Seal was ordered by drug bosses in Medellin, Colombia, who sent 5 men to Baton Rouge to kill Seal. Seal's son, Barry Jr., one of 5 children, was restrained by police, who said the gunman had waited in ambush for Seal at a Salvation Army shelter, where Seal had been sentenced by a federal judge on a drug charge to do community service. Seal was a tough guy TWA pilot who got caught smuggling cocaine and became one of the most important and daring undercover operatives, infiltrating the top Colombian drug operations. In a recent interview, Seal said he knew he was risking his life.
The old saying, if you can't stand the heat, don't work in the kitchen. I can take the pressure.
It was Seal who posed as a smuggler and flew into Nicaragua and took these pictures, showing Colombian drug dealers and Sandinista officials loading cocaine on his plane. Seal busted up the Colombian connection in the Caribbean country of Turks and Caicos, setting up a payoff meeting on videotape that led to the arrest and conviction of the country's prime minister. And Seal was scheduled to be the key witness against this man, Jorge Ochoa, the top Colombian drug boss, now in jail in Spain, about to be extradited to the United States. Authorities say the Ochoa drug organization was responsible for the bombing of the U.S. Embassy in Bogota last year, the assassination of Colombia's Attorney General, and now the murder in Louisiana of the man who was perhaps the most important undercover drug informant ever. Brian Ross, NBC News.
Love Miami.